Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy 2026. I'm so excited to get started with this year. Um, yeah, that being said, I'm actually kind of like scared, but I'm so mentally prepared to go into this next year and, you know, do my best, work hard. And this is going to be the year I turn 18, the year I graduate, the year I go to college. Oh, there's so much happening. But yeah, I'm so excited to dive into this year and be with you guys. So, today in this video, we will be filming. By we, I mean me. I'll be filming every single book I have on my physical TBR so that going through this year, you guys can comment on this video and give me books that you see in this video that you want me to read. And while this is not my like updated TBR, by that I do mean like there are some books that I am expecting to come in hopefully soon um for Christmas, even though it's past Christmas, but like they're like late Christmas presents from a family member of mine. So, I'm expecting those to come in. I'll show you those when they come in a different video or whatnot, but this is my current right now physical TBR. We are actually going to start with my library books that I have. I'm gonna bring them over here because these are like books that are not gonna be here for like a really long time, and I only have a short amount of time to read them before I have to turn them in, anyways. So I'm gonna bring those over here. We're gonna start with those, and then we'll carry on to everything else. Okay, so I'm very quickly gonna go through the library books that are behind me that you will see after this video. Either that or I'm gonna post it today, but it's gonna be in my January TBR. But I'm gonna go through the two books that are on there that are library books first, and we're just gonna quickly run through those because those are still on my TBR until I read them. So the first one I have is The Last Hour Between Worlds. This is a sci-fi book. This is by Melissa Caruso. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, this is a sci-fi book. I kind of feel like last year I felt and realized that my moods and my reading taste are completely changing. So like I feel like I'm more of a general fiction than a romance because I've read so much romance in my lifetime and I'm getting a little tired of it. But I want to try some science fiction, historical fiction, stuff like that to see if maybe that's more my type as well. So I got this one because it seems interesting. I don't really remember what it's about, but yeah. That being said, there's that one. I'm not gonna know what most of these are about, so if you're expecting like a synopsis of what these books are about, I can't really give that to you because I have no idea. But that's the first one. And then I also have by Joanne Fluke, The Gingerbread Cookie Murder, which is also has two other authors that wrote in it. So Laura Levine and Leslie Meyer. I probably said both of those wrong. But yeah. So there's like three different like short novella books in here. Um about like gingerbread cookies. But this is also like Christmas themed, and I should have read this during Christmas, but like whatever. I don't really care. So those are the two library books that I have that are on my January TBR that I just quickly went through, and I just realized you're getting synopsis of these in my January TBR anyways. So now for the library books that are on my TBR cart. We have first we have Water Moon by Samantha Soto Yambajo. I don't know if I said that last name right, but yeah. All I know is I think this is like slightly fantasy. I don't really know. Well, yeah, I think it has some magical elements to it, but that being said, I saw this book and I was like, you know what? I've seen people read this. They've enjoyed it, so I think I'm going to. And yeah, I think fantasy is also one of the genres that I want to like try and see if I'm really into, because I've read like fantasy here and there, and I haven't really like been really big on it, so we'll see. Then we have The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartes. I don't know how to say that. Um, this just feels wintry to me because I think it's snow, but that's the reason why I got it. Only because of that. Also because I definitely do like thrillers, and I think thrillers with writers in it are really interesting to me. So, that being said, then we have The Woman in Suit 11 by Ruth Ware. I got this one because I read The Woman in Cabin 10, and I gave it like a 3 star. I didn't really enjoy it, but other than that, I think I'm gonna enjoy this one more, and that's the reason why I got it. Then we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I did actually get the arc of this book, so I do have the arc on my Kindle in which I can read. I just wanted to like see how the physical copy was and read it from like a physical copy, because I have every other Holly Jackson book in physical copy, but this is her adult one, her first adult, and it's Halloween. So, yeah. Then we have historical fiction, in which I do actually think I'm getting more into, and I'm so excited to read more of this genre. So I have The Lost Book of Bond by Brianna. I'm not even gonna try that last name, but yeah. I don't know what this book's about either. It's set in Germany, so this is during the Nazi era. That's all I can really see. Um, so yeah, but I'm getting more into historical fiction. You know, when you read like a history book in school and you're like boring, but then you read a history book like outside of it and you really enjoy it? No, just me? Well, that being said, there's that one. Then we have, oh, this is for the Gilded Age. Cool. It says on the front, All the Pretty Places by Joy Calloway. I got this one because of the cover, and I don't really know. I think I've read maybe one historical fiction on the Gilded Age, and I kind of want to read more. So, interesting. Then I have a thriller. I think I have a couple thrillers. I'm not sure. But we have The Silent Watcher by Victor Methods. I also have a Kindle copy of this. I actually got like the pre-release copy so I can read it before. So like an arc, but it's not really an arc. Um I didn't read it because I kind of wanted the physical copy to read it. But yeah, so now I have the Kindle version and the physical copy that I can read at the same time. So I'm gonna do that. But hopefully I'm gonna do that before I have to turn it in. Then we have Dead and Gondola by Anne Claire. This is just, I don't know, it's a like wintry mystery, so I picked it up. It's also short. Oh, this series debut. Okay, anyways, but yeah, it's short, so I picked it up. Then we have the Golem of Brooklyn by Adam Mansbach. I don't know. I saw it and it seemed interesting to me just by the cover and how short it is and the type of book it is. Like, seeing paperbacks like that is so cool. But yeah, this is like Jewish folklore. That's all I know. And that's enough to interest me. And then there's this one book that I keep seeing in the library. Like, I pass by it in the library and I'm just like, whoa, I think it would be so cute. It's a romance though, so I'm just like, you know, but it's a 5 letter word for love by Amy James, and I think I might like this. I like crossword puzzles and stuff like that, so seems interesting. All I know is this is a romance. So what is romance is based off of, so there. But those are all of the library books that I have, and yeah, I'm going to go put these back on the cart. Then I'm going to go through these books that are behind me, really quickly, I'm going to go through this on my January TBR because you will have either already seen this or about to see it. And then we're going to go through those over there. So I'm going to move these and then I'll be right. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. It's been a hot minute. It's it's been a minute. I um I kind of got distracted. So, yeah, let's carry on. Like I said, we're going to go through the ones that are over here on my January TBR really quickly because they are still on my physical TBR until I read them. So, I don't know if you can see this since you're so far back. Ah, I'm going to try to do this as easy as possible. So, we have Immortal Consequences, wrong book, Reckless, You Shouldn't Have Come Here, Two Twisted Crowns, which I'm so excited to read, Bonfire Night, A Man Called Ove, Revolve, and The Goal by L. Kennedy, which is the fourth in the Off Campus series. So, like I said, I was just going to quickly go through those, and then we can go through these that I have over here. And then I'm trying to decide if I'm going to bring my TBR cart over here or if I'm just going to sit in front of my TBR cart, which I might actually do. So, that being said, let's carry on over here. We have. Are we going to fall? Are we going to fall? Are we going to fall? We're not going to fall. Cool. So, first one we have over here is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. All I know about this book is that it's like kind of like the adult, darker version of Caraval and vibes, but it's long. And I'm so scared of big books. I don't know why. I'm scared I'm gonna be in the book too long that it's gonna feel boring. But I might have to make a video of me reading some long books that scare me because there's a few. There's definitely a few. Um, then we have a book that I'm literally currently. Can you go in the middle of? And that's The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Um, honestly, I feel like I'm like halfway through this book. I am definitely enjoying it, but there was just so much drama going on in this right now, and I kind of need a little break from the drama. But I'm going to get back to this um and finish it sometime next year. Hopefully. Maybe in the beginning of the year. Who knows? But yeah. I'm not 50% of the way through. I'm like 40%. But that being said, there's that one. I do really want to finish that one, and I am enjoying it so far. Then we have Red City by Marie Lu. I don't know what this is about. I got it from Book of the Month. It has really pretty sprayed edges. I got it in October, but yeah, I don't know what this book's about. This is just another like thing. Like I said, I've been trying to like pick up more fantasy as well and putting fantasy on my TV as well, so that you know we can see if fantasy also works for me. So that's one of them. These are also like books up here that I want to get to like soon in the beginning of the year, hopefully, so I can either get them off my TBR because they've been on here for a while, or I'm just really interested in them. Um, so this one is Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I honestly, every time I pick up this book, I literally hear Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift in my head, and I think it's so funny. I was making tea. I'll be back. I feel like this seems a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. So we're gonna start with this cart right here. And this cart is also the cart that has my library books that we already went through. So yeah, that's why you see those up there. Um, but we also have The Terminal List by Jack Carr, which is my mom's book. This is my mom's book, but she wanted to watch the show and I wanted to read the book first, so I have the book. I'm gonna move you up a little bit so you can see my face. But yeah, I'm interested in this. It's a thriller. I feel like I have to be in the really, really, really specific mood to read a thriller and actually like it. So that's the reason why that's not been read yet. Then we have The Boy in the Photo by Nicole Trope. I haven't read this one yet because I read one other book by Nicole Trope and I didn't really like it. So I'm kind of nervous, but it's a short thriller and I might like this one better because it's a different synopsis, a different idea. It's not like a continuation of that one. So I might like this one better actually. Um, but yeah, another thriller, so I have to be, kind of in the mood for that. Then this one, this one's actually Sarah's book. And she gave this book to me for me to annotate and then give back to her because I'm a big annotator. And I haven't finished it yet. I'm on page 13. But this is Weather by Jenny O'Fell. It's a literary fiction, which is why I haven't finished it yet because it actually takes a little bit to get through because it's very deep, in your mind. But I'm going to finish this sometime this year and give it back to her. Um, yeah, I definitely enjoy it, but it's definitely literary fiction. So even though it looks small, it's actually gonna take a lot longer. There are books on the back. I might do those like after I finish the front of the cart, so that's easier. Next, I'm gonna turn this way. We have the Addicted slash Callaway series. Um, can you hear my siblings? What are they talking about? Anyways, is this? Yes. Okay. I was like, okay. Anyways, so we have Addicted for Now, Kiss the Sky, Hot House Flower, Thrive, Addicted After All, Fuel the Fire, Long Way Down, and Some Kind of Perfect, all by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Um, I finished the first two books. I'm in the middle of this one. I keep picking up and putting it down because there's so much that happens in this series. And there's just so much that happens with these characters, and it's really deep. And I just, need a mental break sometimes, especially with the topics they talk about for Lillian, though. So, then Anyways, then this is what I was talking about. Yeah, I have. Can I pull this book out? Goodness. Then I have The Gingerbread Bakery, also by Laurie Gilmore. This I might read soon because it's wintry, so I might actually get to this one soon. Yeah, this is Annie's book. But then we have Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is the third in the When in Rome series. I've also started this one. There's so many books that you will see that I have started. I have also started this one. I'm on chapter 2 for this one as well. But I'm this is like summary, but it's like two teachers. And I think this is gonna be my favorite one because I really love her, and Emily is like my favorite character since the first book, so I might actually like this one more. I just need to get to it. Then we have Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I'm also in the middle of this one. There's so many books that I'm starting this year being in the middle of. I'm at chapter 5 in this one though. I didn't like the first book in this series. This is the next series, and I think there's supposed to be a third one, but I didn't like the first book at all. I didn't really like that book, so I was scared going into this one. But people said that this one's better, and so far, I guess I'm saying it's better, but I don't really remember much because it's been a little bit since I've read it. But yeah, and then we have The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, which is the fifth and final book in the Off Campus series. I cannot wait to get to this one, but I have to finish Tucker's story first. Um, so I'm very excited to get to that though. Let me put these back. Okay. I'm gonna have to move you down so you can see the bottom. And now you can't really see me, but who needs to see me anyways? Then we have If We Were Perfect by Anna Hong. The reason why I haven't read this one yet is because I didn't like the rest of the books in this series. I feel like Anna Hong's books, like I like her newer ones from the Kings of Sin series, but I feel like her older ones, like from the If Love series, I just didn't like as much or at all, really. So I'm going to finish this one though because it's short and it's easy and it will get me done with that series. So I'm going to finish that one soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And then we have the Twisted series. I read Twisted Love, I think in like January, February of last year. And needless to say, I did enjoy that book, but I know people's favorite I think is Twisted Games, and I think I might like that because of Bridget and Rice, but who knows? We'll see. So we have Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. These books just get bigger, but yeah. And then we have King of Envy. I'm so excited to read this because of Volk. Volk. but it's just, it's big. And King of Sloth was so slow. King of Sloth was not my favorite of the series. I'm sorry, I'm like sideways. King of Sloth, definitely not my favorite. I will say that was, I know it's sloth, so it's supposed to be slow, but for him being that, yeah, no. Okay. But Volk, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. And then we have the Striker, also by Anna Hong. So I have my whole Anna Hong section right here. But yeah, I need to finish this one. No, I need to read this one. But I kind of wanted to get through these because I know the main male character in this one from the Kings of Sin series. But I kind of want to get more of him because I know he's like also in this series as well. So I want to get as much background as I can from him before I read his book so I can understand him to the max. So, also, football. I'm not in the UK or wherever y'all say football, but I kind of like it. Football for soccer, I kind of like it. I don't really like American football. I do like soccer though, so I get it. So, yeah, soccer and a ballet dancer. Hey, a dancer. Anyways, then we have the Magnolia Park series. I'm in the middle of the first one. It's just a lot of drama. And I feel like romance and drama goes good together, but it takes me a lot longer to process because I'm like, why is there so much drama? Like, it feels a lot more realistic to me because there's a lot of drama that happens in relationships, especially my relationships. So I kind of feel like, also, the cheating trope, I definitely relate with this. So I think that's the reason why it's taking me a little longer. But so we have Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, The Long Way Home, The Great Undoing, and Into the Dark. So I definitely will read these sometime this year. That being said, there are books on the back, like I said. So I'm gonna turn this one around really quick so we can get to the books on the back. I'm gonna have to like lift you up again. Cool. So up here we have The Love Haters by Catherine Center, which is definitely a summary book, so I'm gonna save that for summer. And then The Rom-Comers, also by Catherine Center. I've read, I think, one Catherine Center book and I didn't really like it, so that's kind of put me off from continuing, but I'm going to. Then I have Passion Project by London Spirit. I did start this book. It just, I don't know. It didn't really keep me like I thought it would. So that's what it was. I think a lot of these that I started are romances, and I think, like I said, I have not been that big on romance anymore. So I think that's the reason why a lot of these I've stopped is because they're romances and they kind of just get boring to me. So I kind of pick them up by piece, but we'll see. I definitely will get to finishing that soon though. Um, I know there's books on the other side, so we'll turn it all the way around in a minute. But then over here, which you can't see this one really, but this is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. Then we have Confess by Colleen Hoover, Slammed, Point of Retreat, and This Girl, which is all the Slam series, also by Colleen Hoover. And then we're going to turn it to the other side. There's more books over here. Okay, up here is more of my mom's books. So we have Now You See Her by Dale Meyer. This is the 8th book in the series. There's so many books in that series, but this is number 8. I need to get to it. But, this is actually like, I genuinely have to be in the mood for this or else I'm not going to like it. Then Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. There's a reason why I haven't started that book yet. Moving on. Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood. I just read an Ellie Hazelwood book and didn't really like it. And that was Deep End. I didn't like it. 2-star. This is summer. So I'm going to save this for summer, but I'm also a little nervous because I know some of the things that happened in this book people didn't really like either, and I hearing about it just kind of gave me the ick, so we'll see. And then So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. I started this book, but it's a fantasy, but it's like it felt too YA for me. Like it's a YA fantasy, but it felt like too young. Like it was supposed to be really quick and easy for like a younger person. I mean, I'm not an adult yet, but I'm almost 18 and I feel like I'm reading like higher up books, like not necessarily meaning like smutty this and that, but I mean, like, they can be a little more complex so I don't get bored. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here. I will continue to read this though later. I just softy enough it, like most of these. But then we have The Islanders by Meg Mitchell Moore. This is another like summary general fiction. I think that one is. So I'm gonna save that one for summer as well. I definitely have a summer TBR, that's for sure. Then we have Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. I think it's Taryn Fisher. Let me make sure I got that right. I do have a lot of Colleen Hoover books on here, guys. It is Taryn Fisher. Um, because I know there's some people that really, really, really don't like Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is actually one of the first like romance authors that got me into reading, and that's the only reason why I have all of Colleen Hoover's books. There are some books I don't like, and I will say that, but other than that, I don't really see any problem with it. I usually try not to read Colleen Hoover books on camera though, because I don't want to have to deal with like the backlash of people that don't like Colleen Hoover, but I vibe. I just vibe. I'm not saying I like her, I'm not saying I don't, but I kind of just vibe, you know? So we have Never Never and November 9th by Colleen Hoover. I was going to start this on November 9th, but I was filming a video, so I couldn't. But then we have Offside and Shutout by Avery Keelan. Um, can we see why I haven't started this book yet? We saw what I said with Phantasma. I'm scared of big books, okay? I'm terrified of big books. That's the reason why I haven't started that yet. But yeah, those are all of the books I have on this cart. And now we're gonna move over to this cart. But I'm gonna come this way. And then I'm gonna move y'all that way. So it's easier because the camera's on this side. So moving on. We have, why does this one feel further back than that one? We have Once There Were Wolves by, I don't remember the author, Charlotte McConaughey. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the same author that wrote Wild Dark Shore. I haven't finished Wild Dark Shore yet, but I do have it on my Kindle and I did start it and I did really enjoy like the part that I did read of it. But this is the same author by them and I got, well, by her, and I got this book from a little free library and I saw it when I put it on my Goodreads. I was like, wait, this is the same author. That's so crazy. Yeah. Then we have Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. Big book. Also, I've heard this one is really complex. And you know when I said I would really like stuff that's complex, so I, can think a little more so it doesn't feel like too young for me. I'm a little scared that this might be too complex. But then we have Enchanta by Kaylee Smith, which is the second book from Phantasma. Then Silver Elite by Danny Francis. Is that her last name? Yeah. Okay. Then we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts and Fearful by Lauren Roberts. I will say, and I might get some hate on this, but the Powerless trilogy doesn't really mean much to me. I don't really feel what everyone's feeling. I don't really get the hype of this series. Maybe further in I might, but I don't really get the hype right now. I don't understand it. A lot of people rated Powerless 5 stars. I think I rated maybe like a 4, and that's just being nice. Like, that was just being nice. Because that's going to be so long to read, not just because it's big, but just because I didn't really care. But carry on. We have the ACOTAR series, so A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Rings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then on the back is A Court of... Is it Silver Flames? Yeah, A Court of Silver Flames. Cool. So yeah. I have to reread A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I'm going to continue the series. I read this one 2 years ago now, and I need to restart it before I continue on because I listened to it in an audiobook and I don't really remember much. Also, why is the book so big? But there's that. Then we have more by Elsie Silver, the frontrunner, A False Start, both by the Gold Rush Rant series. Then Hopeless, which is Chestnut Springs, the last book in Chestnut Springs. Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side, and Wild Card, all by in the Rose Hill series, all by Elsie Silver. I definitely want to finish these series before I go on to this one. Also, I feel like down the line of these books, I've heard either really good things or really bad things carrying on. So we'll see how I feel. Whew, I'm out of breath. Then I have Wildfire and Daydream by Hannah Grace. I Icebreaker was okay, and that's the reason why I haven't continued yet. Also, this one's summery. It's like summer camp, and I think I'm also saving this for summer. Believe it or not, I was going to read it this summer, completely skipped over it because I was like, I don't really care. But I'm going to try to get that this summer. I'm going to try to actually set like seasonal TBRs. I don't really have a winter one because I don't really know what I would put on there. That's not just fantasy, so I'm not gonna have one, but definitely like all of the other seasons, I probably will. Then we have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I'm not reading The Fourth Wing or The Empyrean, whatever it's called. I'm not reading that series. I'm not. I don't really care enough. That might just me not liking fantasy or not really big on fantasy, but I'm not reading it. I know this one's really sad though, so good for me. Then, If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I did start this book in fall. I ended up not finishing it because of the size of it, quite literally. Romances this size just scare me. Like, what's so important that the book has to be that big? Also, why is it so big? Anyways, not there yet. But yeah, and it's just definitely fall vibes, so it's definitely gonna be on my fall TBR, and I definitely will be reading it this fall. Then Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I did start like the Dreamland Billionaire series on my Kindle like maybe also 2 years ago. Haven't continued it, haven't finished it, but I did enjoy the first book, so I do want to get to this one. But then I realized how big the book is because I actually got the physical copy of this book, and that's put me off a bit. On the bottom, and then we'll go to the back. I have My Friends by Frederick Bachman, um, which I'm so excited to get to, but at the same time, I want to read A Man Called Ove first. Then Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Crewson, The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North, and the last one, At the Wedding by Jason Rulick, which is also the one that wrote Hidden Pictures. I don't know why I couldn't think about that. But yeah, this is the same author that wrote Hidden Pictures. Have I not read these yet because of them being thrillers and me having to be in the mood for them? Yes. Will those be on probably my fall TBR if I don't read them now? Yes. Then The Recovery Agent by Janet Evanchovy. I don't know how to say the last name. Also a thriller. Most of these down here are thrillers, minus the two random romances I have at the end. Okay, interesting. Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. Haven't read this one yet because I have it in large print. I feel like I've also talked about that, but yeah, I have it in large print. That's the reason why I haven't read it yet. She's Gone by David Bell. Mr. Whisper by Andrew Main. The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Need to get to this one. Santa Monica by Cassidy Lucas. Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. Haven't read this one yet because why is it so big? But yeah, all of these are thrillers minus this one. All of these are thrillers right here, and that's the reason why I haven't read them yet. And then we have Mixed Signals and Business Casual by BK Borson. These are from the Love Light Farm series. These are the ones I wanted to finish before I get to First Time Caller. So there's that. Then we're gonna go back up so we can do the side of the cart, and then we're done. I don't know why I'm like rushing through this right now, but I am. Like I said, I don't really know what any of these books are about. That's the reason why I haven't said anything about them. So, like I said, we have A Court of Silver Flames. Is that actually Silver Flames? Yes, it is. I was wondering if that was like in my head and it just wasn't right. Then my Funny Demon Valentine, in which I am saving for Valentine's around that time. And then my Demon Hunter, both by Aurora Asker. I don't know how to say the last name. Why are these so like difficult last names? Then we have that's out of order, but Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. Um, the first ones are on the other side. That's the reason why. But this is number 6, the newest one that just came out. Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I want to get to this one, but it's also summer, and I did start it in the summer, but I didn't finish it in time, so that's going to stay until summer. I am at the beginning of that book, guys. I promise I'm not like at the end of the book and could finish it, but waiting until summer. I'm at the beginning of that book. LA Weather by Maria Amparo. I'm not gonna say the last name because it's definitely Hispanic and I don't want to mess it up. I'm sorry. So yeah, this one I think is like a general fiction. I don't know. Then we have Captive Hearts and the both 3 and 4, and 5's on the other side by Matsuri Hino. They're mangas. I just need to get to them. They're actually my mom's friends' books, so I do need to get to those and give them back. So there's that. Then at the top we have This Tenderland and The Book Thief. This Tenderland's by William Kent Kruger, and then Marcus Zucker. I don't know how to say the last name. I'm sucking at this right now. Anyways, but these are both historical fictions. I did start this one for school and I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, there's that. Then Island Affair by Priscilla Oliveras. I don't know, but it's a big Cuban family. Cool. That's what it said in the back. But this is also summary, so I'm gonna save that for summer as well. Then, like I said, it was on this side. We have Keeping 13, Saving 6, Redeeming 7, and Taming 7. Redeeming 6 and Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. If I did say that right the first time, it's kind of funny that I resaid it. But yeah. And then Captive Hearts by the same author as the other side because it's literally just volume 5. The reason why I haven't read these yet is because they're big. They're also like the I'm gonna have to pull this one out so I can show you. Um they're like the large ones, the really tall ones. Beautiful covers, but the words are so freaking tiny inside of it. That's the reason why I haven't. Also, it's YA, and I'm not really big on YA romance, but everyone loves this. So I'm gonna get to it so I can love it too. And yeah, those are literally every single book I have on my physical TBR at the start of this year, and minus 4 books, like I said, that are coming in soon, hopefully. And yeah, but I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click on the like button and click subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. It is officially New Year's today, for me at least. So once again, Happy New Year's. Yep, it's January 1st. Happy New Year's. I'm just popping in right now to show you the 2 books I just got last night before New Year's hit, and I just couldn't do it last night because we were having a party. So I'm gonna show you right now the last 2 that I just got. I do have 2 more coming in. That's gonna be on my physical TBR, but it won't be updated in this video. So I have these 2 books are by the same author. These are the only 2 books that I have not read by these authors. So it's Pictures of Him and Days You Were Mine, both by Claire Leslie Hall. And this is the author that wrote Broken Country, and I really enjoyed that book, so I really wanted to read her other books. So I got these 2, and these are like my late Christmas presents, but these are what I got for Christmas, and I'm so excited to read them. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say those are the 2 books I just got last night to add to my physical TBR. And yeah, I'm going to maybe do a final roundup, and then when I'm editing, I'll tell you exactly how many books I have on my physical TBR as of now. And yeah, that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe like I said yesterday. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.